All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeremy. Welcome to Strange Radios, or however I do that intro. I don't remember. It's been forever. Um, no real interesting story behind that either. Just life as it happens. Um, I saw recently Pat from Ground Zero Salem post a contest video called Evolving Opinions, where he invited people to show albums that they had changed their opinion on, either for the better or for the worse. And over the last little while, I'd say about the last couple of weeks maybe, I've been sort of kicking around the idea of starting to do videos again. Again, it's been a while since I've done this. I don't even think it may even be a year or close to a year at this point. But I've been kicking the idea around, um, and this seemed like a really good opportunity. So I'd like to enter the contest, as it were. And the first album that really sprang to mind so the stipulation is you have to think of a record that you changed your opinion on considerably. Either you loved it at first and then you grew to hate it, or vice versa. I'm choosing the latter. I'm choosing an album that when I first heard it, hated it so much, and I eventually grew to really, really love it. And that album is, I'm going to show you the CD version of it. And Then You Shoot Your Cousin by The Roots. This is just the booklet because when I hold the CD case up, the glare is insane. Um, so yeah, it was released in 2014, and The Roots. All right, well, my own personal story with The Roots. So at that point in time, I owned only one other CD of theirs. I wasn't a huge fan yet. The CD I owned before this one was Do You Want Some More? And I liked it. Wasn't my favorite rap ever, but I did like it. And I knew them as the house band for Jimmy Fallon, of course, and Jimmy Fallon's show was not something that was ever really on my radar. But I really, really liked the idea of the Roots being a house band for a show like that. I thought that was really cool. And I saw this record announced, and I was excited about it. I was intrigued by it, I guess. I didn't hear any single from it, and I kind of was just in a record store one day and saw that it had been released and it was there available, so I bought it without, a blind buy basically, without hearing anything from it. And I was woefully disappointed when I got home and listened to it. I guess because at that point, what I was expecting from a Roots record was basically just Black Thought spinning over some really cool beats made by a live band. That's not exactly what this was. This was a much more experimental record, a lot of inclusion of orchestral elements, and almost, I don't want to say like a show tune, but it almost plays like a movie or a musical, like some sort of cinematic vibe to it. And it's not all raps. It's all hip hop, of course, but it's not all rap. There's singing and there's instrumental interludes, and yeah, it was a far out record. And I remember listening to it once and just really disliking it. And I just put the CD in the collection and sort of forgot about it. And I want to say it was, goodness, maybe 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, so about 2019, 2020, where, well, at that point, we're 5 or 6 years removed from when the album had been released. And I was going to do laundry, and I was looking for stuff to play in the car while I sat and waited for laundry to be done. And looking through the collection, I see, And Then You Shoot Your Cousin. And by this point, I had added a few more Roots CDs to my collection. But I saw this one, and I was like, you know what? I haven't listened to it since the day I bought it, right? I kind of remember really disliking it. Maybe I should throw it on and just see what I have here. Maybe I'll get rid of it. And so I went and do laundry, sat in the car, and put this thing on, and was floored. I was floored at how good it is. And I was irritated with myself. I was angry with myself because I listened to it and I was in awe. I was enraptured by it. It's a phenomenal record, and it's, like I said before, it's very cinematic. There's a very strong story, or at least a theme going on here, and it plays like a movie almost. It has that vibe to it, like you're in a very unique piece of work. You know, you're in the artwork, and listening to it that day, I was drawn in and I was captivated the whole way. It's a short record. It's like 33 minutes, I think, somewhere in there, and yeah, just fantastic, just absolutely fantastic. I don't think Black Thought appears on every song, but when he comes in, it's great, and it's at the exact perfect moments. When the other singers come in, their voice is exactly what's needed for that particular song. There's even the first track on here is, I think they just lifted it from a Nina Simone record. I don't even think they added it much, if anything, to it. You know, and it's got that sort of vibe to it. And the whole concept of the record is gun violence, and gun violence in the hip hop community specifically, but also in America in a general sense. Uh, Amazing record. And it ends on a song called Tomorrow, which, when I was listening to it in that car a couple years ago, um, I remember thinking, just what an amazing way to end an album like this, because it's a kind of a heavy record, kind of a dark record, but it ends on this very bright, very hopeful, optimistic, piano-driven piece that is just lovely. And, you know, I guess the lyrics are still kind of dark, but at the same time, the lyrics are looking forward, you know, like I said, hopeful and optimistic. And yeah, I just love the record. Like I said, I was the feeling I was feeling the most was that I was angry with myself for not having seen how great the record was in the first place. Right? I dropped the ball severely on this record. Um, yeah, that's my choice. And Then You Shoot Your Cousin by The Roots for an album that I changed my opinion on. I was going to pick others, but then decided to keep it simple, just do one. Sort of get myself back into the game here. Um, yeah, that's my response. Hope it's enjoyable. Um, how do I sign off? I forget how I sign off. This has been this has been Strange Radios. Stranger, adios.